The extinction of dinosaurs. Do you know the reason? Not the meteor, not the sea level, not some silent winter of ice. Think again. What if it wasn't the fall, but what came after the impact that mattered? The sky turned black, not instantly, but slowly, as if the earth took a shuddering breath. Then ash fell. Not a snowfall, not a storm, but a smothering silence. The animals that you thought were titans, invincible power, but became extinct. What is the root cause? You're not a spectator. You are standing on a crust that remembers. Beneath your feet is a thin, glassy echo. Black dust turned to stone, scattered over continents, buried beneath fields. This isn't just soil. It's a page, a sentence from a book the earth never finished. This ash has names, dates, origins, and in some places, it has voices. You begin at Eden, not the metaphor, the place. Somewhere between two rivers, Euphrates and Tigris, somewhere in the cradle of memory. You walk past a garden, now desert, and beneath your footsteps, there is a dark stratum, older than scripture, but strangely aligned with it. You're not the first to suspect this. In the early 1900s, geologists dug deep in Mesopotamia to find fertile loam. But what they found instead, sandwiched between two layers of clay, was a fine, gray sheet. Volcanic ash, unmistakably, but too fine, too far spread. From where? No volcano visible. And dating placed it eerily close to the time oral tradition places the Great Flood. Ash layers do not lie. They are timestamps, frozen lightning. A team from Istanbul in '96 found a matching stratum just beneath the waters of the Black Sea. This was no coincidence. It was evidence of an eruption, perhaps one now sunken beneath Anatolia, whose ash danced on the wind, settled on the earth, and may have blanketed the land remembered as paradise. This is the first myth. The ash that guarded Eden. A flaming sword turning every way, the scripture says, placed east of Eden to keep humanity out. But now you wonder, was it a flame? Or was it the glow of a volcanic plume, illuminated by a sun trying to break through dust? Your breath slows. You picture it. The last humans of a prehistory, cast out not by divine will, but by famine. Ashfall darkening the rivers, crops gone, the earth poisoned for a generation. They don't remember the volcano, they remember the punishment. And from that day forward, volcanic ash was never just ash. It became divine language. You are walking now across Anatolia. Beneath your feet, troves of obsidian, volcanic glass, used to make knives, mirrors, and masks. Archaeologists thought it was trade, but they missed the pattern. Why were so many sacred objects carved from the cool tears of fire. Because the ash didn't just kill, it consecrated. Burials dated to 7000 BC often contain layers of ash around the dead, as if laying someone in ash preserved them better, protected them, or appeased something watching beneath the mountain. Your pace carries you westward now, toward the Mediterranean. There, buried beneath the ruins of Akrotiri in Santorini, is a city turned to stone, but not destroyed by lava, preserved by ash. Akrotiri speaks in silence, frescoes frozen mid-motion, tables still set, doors closed from within. And yet the people are gone. The ash came swiftly, so swiftly it left no time for fire, just an echo of form, and above it, the earth healed, buried, and forgot until radar found it. This is the second myth, the ash that silences without burning. Across the sea, in Egypt, there are records, not myth, but papyrus, of a sky of darkness for 3 days, followed by locusts, pestilence, and rivers turning red. You stop here, not to repeat dogma, but to wonder, could this have been ash? In 1628 BC, a massive eruption shook Thera, modern Santorini. The ash blew southeast, covering parts of the Nile Delta. Pollen data confirms a sudden drop in sunlight. Agriculture failed. Plagues followed. Some now believe the biblical exodus occurred shortly after. Ash as divine message. Ash as wrath. But something is odd. The reflective layer found in Greenland ice cores from that time shows a sulfur spike, but it is unusually clean, too uniform, almost manufactured. Was this a natural eruption or something else? The ash does not answer. It simply exists. And so you turn north, toward the edge of the Black Sea again. There, sediment cores show a sudden change. Brackish, fresh water turning salty. Rapidly. A tsunami? A flood? And above it, that same fine ash. Thin as skin, stretching for miles. You press your hand to a rock wall. The temperature falls in your imagination. The wind whistles like the breath of the past. And beneath your palm, you sense the earth remembering. This is the third myth. The ash that taught forgetting. Volcanoes are not random in mythology. They are punishment, often, or trials. In the Rig Veda, fire gods dance above sleeping peaks. In Norse myths, Ragnarok begins with the sky split by fire and smoke. The Hopi people speak of a world-ending ash. Why do stories from such distant people echo the same symbolism? Because ash was not just feared, it was understood. It came from below, rose to the heavens, and fell again. A cycle, a rhythm, a judgment. You lie down on the cooled lava now, in a forest regrown above an ancient caldera. It is silent. But the silence is layered, like the earth. Above you, stars. Below you, glass. Between them, you. And in that stillness, something stirs. A voice that sounds like stone breaking. But very slowly. You don't hear it. You feel it. The ash speaks not in noise, but in reflection. A thin layer, a mirror, a veil, a reminder. The myth was never false, just misheard. And so you sleep, the earth watching, the ash waiting for the next name, for the next garden, for the next sword made not of flame, but of falling glass. You are walking in a desert where there should be no silence. The wind once carried laws carved in stone. Prophets once stood here, eyes wide in the face of invisible thunder. But what if they weren't imagining? What if their visions were not divine abstractions, but memories of skies darkened by more than metaphor? The ash is not gone, it's only hiding. This is Babylon, or what's left of it. Beneath the ziggurats and temples and sun-baked bricks lies a thread of grey, a compacted seam of volcanic ash that no one expected. Babylon has no volcanoes. But the wind does not obey borders. It carries the earth's breath as far as scripture and ambition. The layer is thin, but it shines under radar, reflective, unnatural. It cuts through the sediment like a whisper. Carbon dating places it near 1620 BC. Just like in Egypt, just like in the Bible. You're holding a copy of the book of Exodus. Not for faith, but for patterns. A pillar of smoke by day, fire by night, rivers turn red, darkness over the land of Egypt. Crops fail, livestock die, the firstborn fall. Is that religion? Or is that an eruption? Santorini again. The caldera blast was massive. VEI 6 or 7, ash shot into the stratosphere, dragging sulfur and microscopic glass. Egyptian core samples show elevated sulfur dioxide. Grain records record crop collapse. But the story didn't survive in tables or maps. It became a parable. Volcanic ash turns to theology. Tefra becomes 10 plagues. You look up from the book, and you're in the tomb of Pharaoh Ahmose. There are paintings on the wall of great clouds in the sky, people fleeing, dead cattle, collapsing crops. Egyptologists say it's symbolic. But you've seen that symbol before, in Iceland, in Indonesia, in Japan. That symbol is called eruption column. You turn the page. There's the Red Sea parting, or drying, or vaporizing from a pyroclastic wind. There's Mount Sinai, clouded in smoke and trembling. There's Moses, with his face radiant, as if scorched. There's a command not to approach the mountain, lest one die. This is the first vision. The mountain burns because it remembers. Elsewhere, in Canaan, they circled Jericho, 7 days, 7 trumpets, then collapse. But Jericho, too, has a grey seam, same dating. No war artifacts, just a sudden fall. You sit by the wall, now rubble, now excavation. A team from Tel Aviv is scanning soil samples. The stratum is glassy, streaked with sodium-rich particles. Evidence of heat over 1,000 degrees, not from torches, from air itself. They don't say volcano, they say anomalous thermal event. But the pattern continues. You are now in Ashkelon. The ash again, different time, different language. The scrolls here speak of a great sky serpent, vomiting smoke, stealing the moon's light. Their word for it is Nahash Esh, fire serpent. One scholar thinks it refers to Halley's comet. Another suspects Krakatoa. But you suspect this. The ash was a language all its own. Second vision. The sky turns to parchment. The ash is ink. The Bible is not alone. In the Dead Sea Scrolls, one speaks of a time when the stars fought from their courses. Astronomical metaphor? Maybe. But under that scroll's cave, tephra has been found, mixed with bath guano, but distinct, and its signature matches a volcano in the Aegean. What if the stars were simply hidden? What if fighting stars is just how you describe celestial objects disappearing behind a sulfuric veil? You are no longer walking. You are gliding like a camera across time. Babylon becomes Nineveh. Nineveh becomes Damascus. The stories repeat. Fire from the sky, darkness by noon, prophets cry out, angels appear with flaming swords, but not swords, jets of fire from distant mountaintops. Pyroclastic flows seen from the horizon. Prophets and priests became earth watchers. Without seismometers, they read the breath of the world. And what they read, they recorded in verses, in laments, in fury. A pause. Now Jerusalem. The temple burns, the curtain tears, the earth shakes. Matthew 27-51, no volcano nearby. But just before the event, Roman historians mention a great smog from the east, reaching even Rome. Again, Santorini? Or did another mountain speak? One we have not yet found. In 2021, scientists found microtephra in Jerusalem sediment. Faint, nearly lost. Its chemical fingerprint doesn't match Santorini. It matches Colombo, a submarine volcano north of Thera. It erupted silently, without lava, only ash. Third vision. God's whisper in ash, not thunder. You are floating now, above ancient Iran, Zoroastrians, the fire worshippers. Their texts speak of mountains of flame, of the world cleansed by molten metal. Most call it metaphor. You wonder if it's memory. The ash from Alborz, a small eruption in geologic terms, but still fierce. And under one of their temples, a trove of obsidian tools, ancient, unlocal. Ash had made the land fertile. Fire made it holy. Back to the Bible. The book of Revelation speaks of stars falling to earth, of a third of the world burning, of trumpets and smoke, of a silence in heaven for half an hour. You sit with that silence. Could it be a forecast or a memory repeating? Could the reflective layer, the ash that still lies beneath continents, be the same spoken of in those final lines? Ash is not loud, but it never forgets. And now, neither do you. You're not studying the Bible anymore. You're rereading it with volcanic lenses. The third trumpet, the wormwood star, the smoke from the abyss. What if these aren't prophecies, but geological memories mistaken for future visions? The ash knows. It was there for Eden, for Egypt, for Babylon, and it will be there again, waiting. You wake to a world changed, not by time, but by the sky. The sun hangs lower today, or perhaps just dimmer. A pale disk veiled behind the tiniest film of light-absorbing ash. You do not remember a volcano nearby, and yet every morning is quiet, too quiet. Shadows stretch longer. The air smells faintly of metal and memory. You aren't alone in noticing. You feel it in your bones before your mind confirms it. The air, thinner. The silence, deeper. The birds, absent. They call this kind of event a dry fog in 1783, when Laki erupted. But what if it's older, cyclical? What if the skies have worn this veil again and again, and humans like you have only remembered the stories, not the source? Somewhere, an elder mutters that the gods have hidden the sun. Somewhere else, a shepherd counts stillborn lambs, and high above, invisible and cold, a layer of fine volcanic ash drifts like a forgotten prophecy, bending the light. This is not just a mirror. It is a soft shroud placed on the heavens. You travel backward, not in body, but in knowing. You kneel in the highlands of Guatemala, where the Maya once built cities of calculation. They etched into stone not just the orbits of Venus, but the ash-clouded cycles that made maize fail. In the Chilambalam texts, you read, "The sun darkened, the face of the sky wept ash, and the people turned to stone in fear." Ash not only choked lungs, it choked time. Calendars broke down when harvests failed. And so the Maya whispered of black rains and gods of smoke. In Japan, across the Pacific, you find parallel tales. Mount Asama erupted in 1783, darkening skies already wounded by Laki's far-off ash. Samurai records mention red skies that frightened the birds away, and farmers watched rice wither. But these people did not have satellites or radios, only eyes, only memories, only stories. And yet they all say the same thing. The sky was no longer ours. You stand atop the ruins of Angkor Wat, a once mighty Khmer empire, undone not by war or invaders, but rain that never came, and then too much. Was there an eruption? The records don't say, but the trees tell you. In ancient tree rings around the region, growth halts, then bursts, as if the sky opened and closed its hand too quickly. Historians argue about trade and religion. But you ask the sky, you ask the quiet sun, you ask the veil of ash now buried in lake beds. Somewhere in Bolivia, you touch the floor of Lake Titicaca, where sediment remembers better than people. Here lies the invisible hand that shifted rain belts, that made empires starve, that offered no warning. Volcanic ash did not kill with fire, but with what came after. A soft vengeance. One you couldn't see coming until your gods stopped answering. You lift your eyes to the north, in Siberia. An old Evenki woman tells you that long ago, the sky caught fire, but with no sound. Red lights danced for months, they say, and the animals grew quiet. Volcanic ash in the stratosphere can refract light into strange colors. Blues at twilight, red moons, golden fogs. But what if more than light was refracted? During the Krakatoa eruption of 1883, auroras were seen far from the poles. Night turned copper. Stars hid. Some said angels walked the clouds. Painters in Europe, Turner, Munch, saw skies bleed crimson and captured it in oil. You, too, begin to wonder, if the ash veils the world, what else does it change? Does it bend dreams, alter mood, open windows between things? Because in that silence, post-eruption, many claimed they heard voices. Not in madness, in clarity. The ash didn't mute the world, it clarified it. Scientists dig. They catalog eruption dates, measure sulfur dioxide, examine polar ice cores. But you watch the spaces between their numbers. You find layers that do not match any eruption on record. Ash that shouldn't be there. Ash with unknown chemical signatures. Ash that doesn't match nearby volcanoes. Some suggest cometary origins. Others whisper, off record, about geoengineering from before memory, or perhaps something beneath Earth's crust we no longer know how to hear. Volcanic ash isn't always from volcanoes. Sometimes it's from things deeper, older. Things that only erupt once every 10,000 years, just enough to stay myth. In the ice of Antarctica, 30 meters down, there's a single layer reflecting infrared like a mirror. It shouldn't be there. And yet it is. Who placed it? The layer grows thinner with time, buried beneath progress, climate change, and amnesia. You walk through modern cities, glass towers, carbon exhaust, neon glow, and realize the veil is coming again. Supervolcanoes do not ask permission. Yellowstone breathes, Toba hums, Campi Flegrei dreams. When they rise again, the ash will fall, not as a catastrophe, but as a veil, covering not just sun and stars, but memory. Will we too forget? Or will you, yes, you, remember what lies in the shimmer between sky and earth? You place your palm to the soil. It is warm, waiting, speaking in layers. The veil is not the end, it is an invitation. You always believed that heaven is above and earth is below, that light rises and shadow falls. But in this final layer, you find the rules reversed. The volcanic ash doesn't fall. It hangs like a curtain drawn across the centuries, a layer too delicate for human eyes, but too persistent for the earth to forget. You stand in a high desert. The wind howls like it remembers a scream. Beneath your feet, the ground is ordinary, sand, gravel, but overhead, there is something refracted. A shimmer in the sky, a distortion like an old mirror, clouded by time. You squint, and for a second, the air fractures. There are shapes in the shimmer, figures, a procession, a tower, a burning tree. You blink, and it's gone. This, they say, is where the ancient ash settled not just on earth, but in the sky itself, where it fused with the upper atmosphere, with ice crystals, solar winds, and myth. High above, in the stratosphere, some ash particles never descended. Instead, they hovered for decades, even centuries, thin enough to evade gravity, but dense enough to affect how the sky looks at you. That's why ancient peoples told stories about the heavens changing color, about suns that turned to blood, moons that danced like silver serpents. They weren't all hallucinating. The sky had changed. And you? You are walking in the aftermath. There's a manuscript in a locked room in Samarkand, written in ink made of ash and tears. Its author was blind, or so he claimed. Yet somehow, he described star patterns that would only become visible after the eruption of a volcano 1,000 miles away. The manuscript contains a word repeated over and over, written in a dead language, but sounding almost like breath. Shalulu, Shalulu. When translated, it means that which reflects what has not yet happened. Was it prophecy, radiation, or something else? Some scientists in the late 19th century speculated that the upper ash layer could refract not just light, but time. The theory was buried for being mathematically heretical, but its implications were never disproven. Imagine a lens made not of glass, but of smoke, suspended in the upper reaches of the Earth's breadth, capable of bending time backwards, showing not just what was, but what might be. Sound impossible? Then explain why some medieval paintings depict cities they never knew, machines never built, and stars that would not appear until satellites mapped them centuries later. You drift now through dreams, where the ash layer doesn't just reflect light, it records history. In this dream, a volcanic eruption thousands of years ago didn't just send death downward. It sent a fingerprint upward, pressing into the stratosphere. That fingerprint remains. Every time a satellite crosses it, the instruments flicker. They say it's solar interference. You know better. In some shamanic cultures, the ash sky is where souls go first. Not to heaven, not to judgment, but to reflection. The layer serves as a mirror, not of what you did, but of what you could have been. That's why the mirror distorts. It shows you not as you are, but as you nearly were. You reach a plain. It is flat, shimmering, silent, no horizon, just sky above and a reflection beneath your feet. So perfect. It's like walking on light. The reflection is not yours. The person in the reflection is taller, wiser, wearing something ancient, a crown of branches, skin traced with silver veins, their eyes hold centuries. You lift your hand, so do they, but not at the same time. There's a delay, as if the reflection must think first before it moves. And then it smiles. Only then do you realize the truth. You're not looking at your past. You're looking at what the ash remembers you could have been. Back in the early 21st century, a team of physicists tried to simulate how long stratospheric ash could persist in stable atmospheric bands. Their models crashed, not because of errors, but because of ghost data. Every time the program ran, a variable appeared with no input source, the same variable. Always the same name, Shalulu. The engineers deleted it. The variable came back. It always comes back. In one of the oldest maps of the sky, drawn in the time of the Han Dynasty, there is a faint glyph near the constellation we now call Orion. The glyph means the watcher behind the mask. It is shaded in red ink, barely visible. In other cultures, Mayan, Sumerian, Arctic Inuit, the same star was once called Ash Eye. What did they see? What did they remember? Or more terrifying, what remembered them? In the tale of Gilgamesh, there is a line that scholars have long believed was mistranslated. It reads, "When the heavens fell, we walked on sky and saw our twins in fire." But some now believe that is not metaphor. It was the sky itself, laced with suspended ash that mirrored them during the long volcanic dusk. The fire above was not divine judgment. It was a lens, a message, a memory. You wander now, quiet, through ancient temples. They all share one architectural detail, roofs carved or painted with swirling spiral patterns, symbols of ascent. Priests once believed that prayers could reach the upper ash, that the ash layer held not only memory, but agency. That if you could reflect deeply enough, if you could recall your truest self, the ash would answer. And perhaps it has. Because the ash still floats above us. Tiny particles, older than any empire, they drift, silent, waiting for the right shape of light to pass through them. When that happens, strange things occur. Voices on radio stations, colors in the aurora. Dreams in sleeping children. They dream of things they've never seen. But you've seen them, haven't you? The ash remembers. And now, so do you.